And now he's crying for Taino. Now he wants another man to hold his hand. Now he wants Taino.
He wants a Spanish nutsack. Hey, but wait a minute.
He went from the brothers now to the Spanish sack.
What's up now with the wave? Puerto Rican coffee, man. I want the real. Waving it now, waving it, waving it.
Hey, Nan, you hear how Pedro's on the sack? Pedro is on the sack, too.
Nothing of that bootlegged coffee.
You had to hear, man. I mean, he wasn't on the bridge yesterday, and he wasn't in his regular vehicle, so he don't even bother coming out here. That's how much of a bitch he is. That's Pedro for you. You notice that? If he's not on that bridge and if he's not in his vehicle with all that power, you don't even hear him out here.
Hell no, man. Forget that nigga. Shit. I hate when I do that shit. But I'm trying to.
It's funny. Yesterday, someone came on 40 yesterday, said, hey, Richie, you worked on my radio last week, and it sounds fucked up. And he did, honestly. The guy sounded real fucked up, distorted. And Richie, like, he tried to play like he didn't know nothing about it.
Yeah, well, that's what happens, man. Motherfuckers keep taking their shit down. That's what they're gonna get. Bootlegged Puerto Rican coffee.
And it's funny because people out there were commenting, like, Richie, he does sound fucked up. What'd you do to his radio?
That enforcer hates when you do that. I don't know. I'll be back. Let me go to him.
Yeah. All right. Get some coffee. I'm about to sit back and have some Java while I hear these bitches out there complain about me, man. They're just obsessed with the enforcer.
I ain't gonna lie, 206. Hey, 206. One of our 5 morning shows.
It's funny when he says he ain't gonna lie. Every word that comes out of his mouth is a lie.
Was a record-breaking title.
That's all he does is lie. His whole life is a lie. And he says, I ain't gonna lie. That's all he does is lie. His whole life is a lie. When he was born, they lied to him. They said he was a boy, but he's really a female. I ain't gonna lie, 6. A6, I ain't gonna lie. That's Roger. Hey, Roger that, man. Roger that. That's his whole life. That's his whole MO. It's all a lie. Someone let Richard know it's all a lie.
Just do me a favor, man. Oh, yeah. Pistol, do me a favor. No bootlegged coffee, man.
It's funny how Pedro's trying to talk out there. It's funny how little Pedro's trying to talk out there when he's just a mud duck. You know, it's yesterday when he wasn't in his vehicle that had all the power and the big antennas, he doesn't come out here when he's not on the bridge. When Pedro's not on the bridge with his high power radio and amplifiers, forget about it. You don't hear him out here.
He know better, he know better. Oh yeah. Top of the morning 9 with the wave out there. I'll be back, man. I'm gonna get my... I had to turn on the real monster.
Someone tell Pedro, get off my nuts.
Pepper and ketchup. He loves him, he loves him. I tell you, man. If he was a gerbil, he'd be right under him.
You know they gotta call. You know Richard and his lucky boyfriend's nickname. They call those the foreskin nibblers.
It's officially 5:13 in the AM. Oh shit. 13. So let me bump it down around 5:13 over 206.
That was funny. I should have recorded that yesterday on Channel 40 when the man says, "Hey Richie, man, you fucked up, Richie." What, dog? What'd I do? You fucked up my radio. Listen to it, man. It sounds all fucked up. And I concur. He did sound all fucked up and distorted. And a few people on the radio concurred. That guy sounded all fucked up, Richard, and you worked on his radio last week. That's a shame, man.
That's because Craig, you don't know what the fuck he's doing.
That's what happens when man he plays technician like he knows what he's doing. All he goes in there with tuning sticks and just turns everything randomly. He thinks it's a fucking clock that you just the old wind-up clock. He thinks you just put a screwdriver in and start turning fucking VRs. He doesn't have a clue what he's doing.
He doesn't even have the fucking equipment to do that fucking job.
That's what's funny, man. That's why I don't understand why these morons still go to Richie when the man doesn't have any kind of test equipment to align the radio. How the fuck do you put a radio on frequency unless you have the proper alignment tools and the proper electronic gear? I clearly showed the shit I have, and I showed just one of many pieces that I possess. And I don't claim to be a technician. I don't claim to be anything out here. I'm just a destroyer of crackheads. That's the only thing I claim to be. A man of provider of truth and justice. Yeah, Richard's out there telling people that he's the best thing since apple pie. When we all know he's just a junkie monkey. He's dying of AIDS. He got nothing to lose. That's all he is.
Hey, 206 already, man. What you gonna do, man? That's what happens when people want to save a buck. Take it to a crackhead. Crackhead for having the...
Well, you know what it is. They figure they go to Richie to hit him up with $10. And they give him $5 up front. So they only owe him $5. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what it is. 10 lots of right.
And the sad part is, I heard him yesterday begging for people to come to his crack den. He's like, hey, you give me 3 radios and I do 2 of them and you get 1 done free. I mean, who does that, man? Who begs like that?
Wow. I'll get my breakfast. I'll be right back.
That's a shame, man. You bring him 3 radios and he'll do 1 for free. I mean, that's begging or what?
Man, what happened to this, he has, what is it? He does about 25 radios a day or some shit like that? Come on, what happened? To me?
Yeah, he lucky if he gets, he does, the only thing he does, once in a while, he'll do dollar vans. And even they're getting tired of having their radios get fucked up. Because once he gets it back, a day or 2 later, it's the same shit. So they're like, Richie, wash your teeth, wash your mouth. You stink. I remember I heard a driver tell him that on 37. You stink, man. Wash your mouth. But that was funny. Yesterday, the man said, hey, Richard, my radio sounds like shit. You fucked it up. And he tried to tell someone on 40, I'll sell you the Brooklyn Bridge. That was funny, man. See, at least there's people out there that are coming on and saying that Richie fucked up his radio. And that you can actually hear the radio that he fucked up. It sounded, the guy really sounded all distorted and fucked up, you know, off frequency and whatnot. That's because the man doesn't know what he's doing, you know. You need more people to come forward and expose the junkie. Say, yeah, he worked on my radio and it sounds like shit. Listen to it.
Wow, that's some shit, man. Oh well, that's what happens. Okay, got me messing up a radio. I know he like to believe that. Let me go get something to drink, man. I'll be back.
Roger, I'm not making this up. I'm not making this up. The man clearly stated, Richie, you fucked up my radio last week. The man did sound all distorted and overmodulated and, you know, so on and so forth. You know, the sound of a radio that wasn't done right. Slightly off frequency and, you know, it is what it is, man. So I'm glad that someone actually came forward and said this to Richard, because Richard felt stupid. You know, right there in 40, man. He couldn't escape from that criticism.
They got loads of me. That's bad.
He got the power. Richard needs a shower. He smells like ass crack. Dirty ass crack.
I got the modest touch. Me and this cool stroking stuff like around Brooklyn back on.
Hey, crackhead, when you gonna stop fucking up people's radio, man? Come on, stop it already. You're not a technician. You're just a junkie dying of AIDS and nothing to lose.
Why, New York City? Hey, New York City, I'm gonna do a good thing here.
The only good thing he could do is go 10-7.
Do a real good thing here. I'm gonna allow Mr. 250 to talk to me this morning for about 15 seconds. I think that's where New York City.
The only thing you could do, dog, is go 10-7, man. People don't want to hear your nonsense.
Wait for that. Don't hold your breath away for that. Okay, Mr. 250. I believe you had a question for me, Mr. 250. I guess he didn't have a question. I guess he don't like talking to the kid. You can't talk.
This junkie thinks I want to talk to him. Don't he know I'm talking at him? I'm clowning him. I'm making an ass out of him every time he keys his mic up. I'm not trying to talk to him. I'm exposing him.
I tell no lies. I tell no lies. I'll tell no lies. I'll tell no lies.
Don't tell no lies. Just tell Richard that I got his mic. Don't tell no lies.
You're allowed to tell any lie you want.
Just tell Richard I got his Mickey Pop on my desktop. Just tell Cracky that I got his mic. That's all you got to tell him. Don't tell no lies. Just tell Richie, come get his mic. That's all you got to tell him. Break it to him easily. What was that, Richard? Come on back with that, Richard. Someone took you out, like always.
Hey, Spanky, what kind of lies we telling this morning?
Hey, Spanky, tell the boy I got his mic, Spanky.
Tell him. That's all I want to know.
Let him know, Spanky. Let him know he's not being heard.
What kind of lies? Nobody else. The Sound King, the man with the Midas touch, and the homo stop Mike Becqua.
Come on, let me hear that retard tuning technique he used. Come on, let's hear it, Richard. Let's hear it, Richard.
I hear 254 trying to talk to me. You know what? With nonsense and bullshit rhetoric. You want to be shit to yourself, dog. You know I can't have that. You know I can't have that. Don't put it over me. The king of New York, man.
When is this bum gonna get a job already, man? When is this lonely bum gonna get a job? Get a job, Richard. Stop it already, man. The man came on 40 yesterday, said, you know, you fucked up his radio. He sounded like shit. He admitted that he sounded like shit because you worked on his radio, Richard. When are you gonna stop fucking up radios out here? Stop it already. Yeah, yesterday was funny, man. Yesterday the gentleman goes on 40, said, Richard, you fucked up my radio last week. Richard, what did you do to my radio? And the guy really did sound fucked up, I'm not gonna lie. The guy sounded all frequency, distorted, muffled. Even a couple of people even commented like, yeah, the guy really does sound fucked up. And I'm not making fun of the way the man sounded. But it was funny how Richard tried to change the subject. You know, he was highly embarrassed because someone actually came out there that, you know, that was a victim of Richard and his lack of knowledge and lack of skills that got their radio fucked up, and Richie couldn't do anything but hide and have his tail between his legs. And oh shit, man, Richard, man, why'd you fuck up the man's radio, Richard? That guy sounded horrible yesterday. Why'd you do that, man? You're clear to understand that I'm crushing you? Am I clear to understand that I'm not letting you talk, you crackhead?
I thought he said he wasn't talking to you. What happened?
I know, because when I expose him, when he gets desperate, then he wants to talk to me. Remember that? He did that the last time? Remember the last time he did that? Oh, wait a minute. Let me talk. Let me get this right. Let me talk to you. You notice that? Hey, bad boy, you notice when I exposed him? Now he wants to talk to me?
Yeah, that's beginning to look like his MO all the time now. Oh, is his boy 201 up there? I'm sure won't crush him.
Like I said, the man said you fucked up his radio. The man sounded distorted, off frequency, and muffled. So, you know, I'm not making fun of how he sounded. It's just a terrible situation that the man was another victim of Richie's. And Richie's trying to deny that he worked on his radio. Richard, you're a sad son of a sack of shit. You're a sad sack of shit, Richard. Shame on you.
If I gave him the Wednesday special whack pack. If I had given him the Wednesday special whack pack, man, they must have worked on a Wednesday when it was all whacked out. I don't fucking weed and guns wells, man. What a shame, dog. Clean up that mess. Don't worry. She'll be out here real soon. Real dog. Yo, I thought you supposed to have to ring that bell for charity here for the kids. You made that trouble. You're supposed to be wearing that red suit with the fat belly out there. Singing on the corner, taking money, you know, for the kids, you know. And when he brought me back to my 20, Mr. Mumbles was waiting to get his galaxy mate.
Now he's trying to explain himself, Eddie. Now he's trying to cop a plea.
40.
Hey Taino, tell Richie I got his mic. Hey Taino, let him know. Hey Taino, let him know 250 got his mic. Taino, let Richard know all you hear is Enforcer with that clean audio.
When do you rectify it right now?
Let him know, Taino. Tell Richard Enforcer 250 got your mic nice and clear.
Stepping all over. Hey, dog, bring it, man. Radio 1 to 7 out there. Poor Craggy, he's trying. Craggy, give it up, Craggy. Walk a picture, boy. Yeah, he's cool.
Taino, hey Taino, Richard wants some salpita. Give him some salpita. Go ahead, give it to him. Give it to him, Taino.
Oh, bone crusher. That's been out here crushing me and him every morning.
Look, now he's looking for another man's hand to hold. He's looking for another man's hand to hold. Look at this fag.
That's because Richie likes the cock meat sandwich.
He's screaming for another man's hand to hold. What a fag.
He wants the cock meat sandwich.
I guess Pedro's not enough. Pedro's got a small one, so he's looking for someone with some substance.
Not looking for nobody's head to hold. More like a statement. Where were you?
Wasn't he just calling for someone out there? Wasn't he calling for someone? Now he's saying, "Oh, I'm not looking for no one's hand to hold," because he gets busted. He sounds stupid. He's calling for people to hold his hand, and he got busted. He sounds like a real fag.
All right. Oh, man. Top of the morning, Crazy Eddie with the wave out there. I guess people got their chicken wings on. But it ain't no big deal. You know what? There ain't no big deal that he's holding another man's cock meat sandwich. Oh, since you don't hear to. Oh, no. That makes no sense. When he said,
What was that new dish on the McDonald's menu? Chicken McFaggot? That's what Richard is?
No, he had the chicken McDick sandwich with the skin pulled back. $2.99 special.
Oh shit! You're telling me a skinless male flute? What is it? The man flute? The sex organ? Wow, a skinless McSkin flute. Wow, that's sad. Richard, you're a sorry sack, Richard. Screaming for people out here to hold your hand.
And they got a new special at McDonald's. You buy 2 chicken McDick sandwiches and you get a free cock meat sandwich. For the record, it's $5.20.
Wow, chicken McDick sandwich, and they got the skinless version. Well, Richard likes them circumcised too, man. He'll take them anyway, with or without the skin. He says he's got gums like Teflon, so he could peel back the skin with his gums.
He said there's nothing better than a pulled pork, all beef, American cock sandwich.
Yeah, that's sad. Hey Eddie, man. Hey Eddie, what could we do for Richard, man? I tell him I get him a shovel. I tell him I get him a shovel yesterday because when it starts snowing, he could work with the sanitation department. They hire people during snowstorms. He can make between $15 and $25 an hour, man. What do you think about that, Eddie? I'm gonna buy a crackhead 127 a shovel and make an honest man out of him. You know, make him work for once in his life instead of smoking drugs all day, all morning and all night. I think that'll be a good thing, man. Hey, Richard, you want a brand new shovel? You want to do some real work? Because you know the 20th of January, next month, is right around the corner. When Mr. Trump takes office, what are you going to do then when you get kicked out of that Section 8 apartment, man? You know, the big man's not going to fucking bail you out this time because you bad-mouthed the man. He's not going to bail you out and get you an apartment again, Cracky. So I'm going to get you a nice shovel. I'm going to leave it at the Barclays Center because I know your fear and common sense will prevent you from meeting me. So I'm going to leave it with security over there at the Barclays Center. I'm going to let them know if you see a crack monkey junkie with some retardism, swollen eyes, that's Richard. Just leave him the shovel, to give him the shovel.
Yeah, I'm bothered with the shovel, man. We're gonna get snow. I think just right now, this time of the year, pick up some leaves, man. Go to Central Park or that park in Brooklyn there. Go pick some leaves, man. Go to work,
Hey Eddie, I got a perfect job. How about picking up horse manure at Central Park? Wouldn't that be an ideal job for Richard? Walk around with that white bucket that he sits on that he calls his furniture and just scoop up horse manure? That'd be a good job for Richard. Being that the man is full of shit, wouldn't that be the perfect job for him?
You gotta climb that ladder. You gotta start from the bottom, work your way up, dog. Audio.
He could be the head shit scooper, man. That'd be his title, the head shit scooper. What do you think, bad boy? Huh? Wouldn't that be a good job for Richard, picking up horse shit?
Yeah, he could follow the horses and pick up all the shit and he'll make some money.
The head horse shit, man. The head horse shit, man.
Look at that. Hey, Richard, we even created a title for you. The head horse shipman. Now, you can't get better than that, man. At least now you have an official title, Richard.
The head shit picker of the horses in Central Park. Damn.
My radio's broken, man.
Richard could be right behind a horse's ass, and he just open up wide and just eat it up, you know? Because they say there's nutrients in horse manure, right? So Richard, man, he hasn't had a good meal in a while.
Radio check. Yeah, no doubt, man. You take that horse manure, you sell that shit. You mix up and you sell fertilizer. That stuff works real good, man. I'm not kidding. That shit make your weed grow. Yo, dog, man. There you go.
Well, you know, they banned Richie from fucking Central Park because they got tired of him putting his fucking forehead inside the horse's ass.
Yeah, good morning. I'm just trying to...
That's what it is, man, right? They banned him from the park, right, bad boy?
Yeah, he was trying to hump the horse with his forehead.
Hey, 250. How about a 250?
Yeah, who's calling?
Hey, 250, let me tell you something. Richie did not touch my radio. I made a joke last night, and you all over the place saying Richie screwed up my radio. Richie never put his hand or touched my radio. So I just want to clear that up. I just want to clear that up this morning. Have a good morning. I'm 10-7.
19.
Roger that. Roger that. You have a good morning. No problem. No problem. Bone Crusher, you have a good morning, brother.
410. Richie never touched his radio. Richie's hands never been in his radio, so it was just a joke. I was just making a little joke.
Roger that. I figured that, man. I figured that because I know you're smarter than that, man, to let Richie touch your shit. All right, man. No problem. You have a good one, man.
Is there nobody on the Super Bowl unless Richie touched that shit? Get out of here. Richie, forget about it.
There we go, right there. You heard it.
You heard that, Richard? You're not touching anyone's radio from the Super Bowl, Richard. That will not happen. That will not happen. I'm glad that was only a joke, man. I'm glad that was only a joke. So I take that back. That was only a joke. Richie did not touch the man's radio. That will never happen.
Don't get back on Bone Crusher, small fry.
Yeah, that was. I tell you, man. I tell you, you know. I don't know if Richard. You figure if Richard got some horse manure from Central Park, he could grow some weed, man. Think about that. He could grow that super weed that he claims he smokes. What does he call it? Purple haze. What does he call it? Purple haze. He says he got high grade weed that he smokes. $15 for a little piece. Well, Richard, if you want to really, I'm not an expert at this, but I'm only taking an educated guess. If you got that strong horse maneuver right out of the horse's ass, and you put that in one of your buckets that you sit on, and put a couple of seeds in there, man, you might grow some super weed, man. You might be the top cat in your neighborhood, man. So instead of begging for dollars outside of McDonald's, Richard, you could grow that super weed and have that horse manure as fertilizer. You know, you're a little dungeon. That little basement apartment might smell. Not that it doesn't already. But people won't know the difference, man, between you and that horse manure. They'll like, oh, that's normal. It's normal scent in here. But I think I gave Richard a good idea, man, to grow his own weed, man, with that horse manure. I'm trying to make the guy an entrepreneur, man. Richard, do the right thing, man. Get some horse manure, Central Park. Put it in that white bucket that you sit on and grow that weed, man. Make yourself some money.
I make good money doing all these drugs. Nemesis 150, here I go. Motherfucker. Remember when he came out with that shit? When that dog first came out, he called himself Nemesis 127. You know, it's Brooklyn CV shop. Yeah, right, you know, it sounds cool. Maybe he is legit. But the more you heard him, the more delusional you got talking about Sade and this. I'm like, what the fuck, man? This guy, he don't sound all there, but alright, maybe give him a doubt, you know? And sure enough, fucking Birdman, the first victim that we know of giving his radio. Man, what a mistake that was. Damn. Right out the box, man. Busted.
Right, take care, man. He fucking blew up his shit.
Yeah, Roger, right on.
Well, that was how many? 21? Not 10, not 15, but 21 electrolytic capacitors in Birdman's radio. Stopped popping. You thought it was a fucking one of those Jiffy Pops, you know? They're more fun to watch than they are to eat. You know those little Jiffy Pops you put over the stove and it starts popping profusely? That's what happened with the man's electrolytic caps that Richie gave back. Richie gave the man back the radio. Several days later, he turns the radio on. And mind you, he had 13.8 volts. 13.8 volts going into the radio. Richie claims it was the voltage was too high. 13.8 volts. And you know the sad part? Insult to injury, the radio never had a problem. It was just a test radio to see what Richie could do. The radio was working fine until Richie put his hands into it. Then it started fucking popping like a Jiffy Pop.
Yeah, that shit was funny. Birdman said that shit was a test radio, and he just fucked it up. A perfectly working radio. Correct, he fucked it up.
You know what's sad about it? People start to give him his shit to fix. Well, I mean, if you call it a fix, but I don't know, man. I mean, he talks like he's got some kind of knowledge of radio, but man, whether you can trust or not, that's up to you, you know. That's your chance you take. Here comes the scam, Jack.
I tell you, you can't trust anybody that uses his radio amplifier to check his SWR meter.
Right, bone crusher, clarified dog. Yeah, then what's funny, man, he'll tune into he's got a fire stick antenna on the balcony he uses sometimes. I guess he must switch it over from his Antron or his IMAX up on the rooftop there. Well, why he does that, I have no idea. I guess he does it for his radio gate to test it. Who knows what the fuck, man? He's a weird dude. It was a joke, it was a joke. That's right, dude.
Well, you know what it is? You know what it is? People start listening to him. Hey, Eddie. People start listening to Crackhead. They listen to Richard and they're like, do I really want to go to that junkie? You know, all kidding aside, man. Listen, if the guy was legit, if the guy had a single piece of test gear and he proved himself, I would be a supporter. I would say, yeah, why don't go. Why would you go to these other places like PM Electronics and Delta if you got a local guy in Brooklyn that was half decent? I would be the first one to recommend them. There's people out here that ask me, Enforcer, who do you think I should go to? I said, well, you got 3 choices, actually 2. But if you want to go to Richard, hey, hell no. The first thing they say, are you crazy? Go to Richie. Shit, man. That's like giving Ray Charles a radio and telling him, here, do your magic. You know? And, you know, it is what it is, man. And it's sad because if the guy had any skills, I would endorse him. I would promote him. But you know what? The guy doesn't have a clue. He's always drugged up. The first thing he wakes up, he's smoking his weed, crack, and all the other shit that he smokes. So why, you know, who could trust a man like that? I mean, think about it. Would you take your car, you bought a brand new car, would you take it to a grease monkey that all he has is a pair of channel locks in his back pocket and a screwdriver and is telling you, yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that? You say, hell no. Get the fuck out of here. I don't even want you near my car. Well, it's the same analogy, man. It's the same thing with Richard. Would you give him your radio? Yeah, he's cheap. He's $10, you know. Or if you bring him a bag of K2, he'll do it for nothing. But the point of the matter is you do not want that junkie in your radio. Listen to his own mouth and his own words. I'm not bad-mouthing him. I'm just letting people know, look, you have a choice out there. You want to go to PM Electronics, Delta Electronics, where at least the man will give you a warranty. If anything happens, they don't turn around and point the finger at you saying, you fucked it up. You blew up the capacitors. No. You honor your work, you get respect out here. It's called satisfaction guaranteed. Richie gives no kind of guarantee or warranty. And when your radio goes bye-bye, when it goes south, then you're on your own. And that's no way there's no way to deal with people, Richard. Yeah, you got your dollar vans because they don't know any better. And you do minor repairs like reverse polarity diode, maybe a blown final or driver. Yeah, minor things like that. If he's lucky, he could do that. You know, but for the most part, you know, listen to his own equipment. That 2950, totally off frequency. And then he tells other people, you notice he don't use it anymore. What happened to that 2950? That radio went south. You notice he don't use it anymore? All he uses is that Uniden? I wonder why. Because that radio is off frequency, big time. And then he's out here complaining to everyone else, hey dog, you're off frequency. Richard, your radio is off frequency. Stop smoking crack, put down the pipe, and do the right thing, man. Stop it already, Richard.
Brothers, the whole family up on YouTube. He's never going to be the same since. I got him to forget all about his Kevlar gloves, his tap on the shoulder. Now he's begging me for a date at the Barclay. Y'all guys have a good day.
Twice I made videos. Twice, not once, but twice. 2 videos I put out there inviting the man to the Barclays Center. All right, I'm not inviting him to slap the shit out of him. Well, that can happen if he comes at me sideways. I can easily do that without any effort. You know, but I said, look, come to the Barclay, we'll meet up. I'll give you that video of you smoking crack at 194 Utica. I'll hand you the SD card with the video on it. I'll give you $1,000 cash, a brand new radio of your choice, and a bass antenna. But all you gotta do is show up to Barclay. This way, there's plenty of cameras there, plenty of witnesses. You can't start screaming that I try to attack you. Or when you're knocked the fuck out on your back, you wake up and you're like, where am I, dog? You know? This way, there's plenty of witnesses. Richard, you can't come clean because you have mental illness. You can't come clean because of your drug addiction. But I was just trying to help you, dog. I'm trying to help you find the light. Because, 2017, I think that's your calling day. I think your daddy's coming for you 2017, man. I hate to predict bad events like that. But, at your rate of drugs that you consume, Richard, and the way you cough profusely in all your videos, it don't sound good, Richard.
To me, bitch, because you know there ain't a motherfucker hiding behind it that can go up and...
He's still talking?
The king of New York come back in my cut.
This crackhead still talk when I'm talking? Don't you know you can't talk and listen at the same time? Did someone tell him that?
Hey, you tried to talk to him while he's on the mic?
Oh, there's Pedro holding his hand. There's the other fag, the crooked nose fag.
Oh, you guys gotta take turns, man.
There's Pedro holding his hand. Listen to him.
That fucking radio, man. You guys gotta take turns, man. Hey, Pistol Whip, looks like I got 7 Chinese ladies inside my radio trying to talk at once. Pistol Whip.
Let me have my last cup of Java. I'll be back.
Yeah, I'm putting timers on the airways. I gotta start putting timers on the airways out there. Limit 1 minute per person, please. Thank you, Naz. While they cry on the king.
Well, you know what it is. Hey, you know what it is? The man loses sense of time and sense of reality. When Richie smokes his drugs, he loses sense of time and reality. So he'll key up and not let the next man talk. But it's all good, man. Richard, I got a brand new shovel for you, man. I want you to do the right thing and be honest and work for a living. Because Donald Trump will be in office sooner than you think. And, not that I'm a big advocate of him, but you know what? At least he's going to try to make honest, an honest worker out of you. No more sitting back, sleeping, taking naps all day long, all night, all afternoon. Waking up, getting high, going back to sleep. Now you're going to have to work for a living, Richard. I know that's something that's not in your vocabulary, the word work. The word paying taxes. Richard, you're going to have to work. No more free meals, no more free lunches, Richard.
Sweetie shows me on the key talking while he start that bullshit. Worldwide radio cut on back on.
At this time, the big man's not going to bail you out, Richard.
Believe that he's talking to you
Hey, Eddie, I'll be back, man. Let me get another cup of Java. I'll be back.
Yeah, but every time you guys be up all together, man, it's hard to understand. I get a piece here, I get a piece in there, I get a piece right there, no doubt. But man, you guys should take turns, man. You guys should take turns so we can understand what's going on. No doubt, we're in a wide, don't squeal, bad acting, mobile, me and my dog plug and 7 Chinese ladies inside my radio got quiet. You figure it out, I'm going out back to smoke at hell. Uh-oh, let's smoke at hell. I gotta smoke at hell. Hey. I'm in a bad location, hang with me, man. Look, I got a 9-pound carrier. I got a 9-pound carrier, no doubt. I ain't got nothing on this end. Hey, 10 Roger. I got 9 pounds. I got a 9-pound bag of coffee. I got a 9-pound bag of coffee right here, baby. As soon as I finish rolling this dump water. Yeah, I'm waiting on the 50-pound, man. I'm waiting on my friend Taino, but hey, did you relay that message? No bootlegging, man. I want the real Puerto Rican coffee, baby. I'm gonna call this video.
Oh, yeah, nothing like a good cup of Java. Nothing like a good cup of Java in the morning. Oh, yeah, look at that, look at that, look at that. Bad foot, and a 9-foot steel whip. That's the insult to injury, man. You got one man on a bridge talking, and then you got the other bitch that's holding his hand. You got Crackhead 127 with a kilowatt and Maritron AL80B, full omnidirectional, high gain bass antenna, the IMAX 2000. That's what Richie's working with. Fully omnidirectional. No skyscrapers blocking them like I have. And I'm still crushing that junkie. Why is that, man? How do I do it with a 9-foot whip, man? You gotta love it. The gates don't lie.
Boy, good thing for that.
The gates don't lie, man. Just watch the gates.
Oh, man. He's in love with you. He's more worried about your equipment than you are, man.
Who's worried about whose equipment? I'm just stating who has what out here, and I'm just making a point. See, Pedro's too stupid to understand what I'm saying out here. That man just can't comprehend what I'm trying to explain to him.
My God, dude. What a fuck.
It's called doing more. It's called, let me break it down for the retards. Those two junkies. It's called doing more with less. Doing more with less. You know, I'm trying to break it down as easily as I can. Doing more with less. I don't know if they understand that, comprehend, but that will be the lesson of today. I might title that on my next, on this morning's video gate. Doing more with less. That's going to be the new title. And I'm going to have a couple of smiley faces there for Pedro. But it's funny how I crushed Pedro, man. It's funny how I made a fool of that boy last Friday when he was over here in Manhattan and he couldn't take out Bad Boy or CK to me. He's like, hey, Bad Boy, you can't, hey, 250, you can't hear Bad Boy now. And we were talking over that fool like he wasn't even there. What an asshole. I know Pedro felt real stupid after that Friday video, man. He felt real silly.
He's talking about, it shows clearly that Bad Boy goes quiet for like 20 minutes.
We were having a conversation right over him. What's he talking about? He goes quiet. Yeah, because we all went off the air after we had a morning show. What do you think? I got all day to spend out here, all morning? You know, we have other things in life, you know. I have to go to work. I can't spend the whole morning and afternoon like you guys. You know, I work for a living. You know, Richie could do that. Richie could spend the whole day, whole night, the whole morning on a radio because he doesn't go anywhere.
About a mile apart, with Cupcake being in the middle. So, you know, there's 7 miles to you than they are me. And, we take it right out the gate. Worldwide radio cut off. And I'm down and out.
I guess Union City, New Jersey, from lower Manhattan is only 12 blocks away. See, everything to these two clowns is 12 blocks. Yeah, he's 12 blocks away. I'm 12 blocks from Connecticut. I'm 12 blocks from South Jersey. What a joke, man.
And then you...
I'm 12 blocks from the Bronx. Unbelievable. Everything is 12 air block. I mean, you can't make this shit up, man. Just listen to the junkies.
20 blocks away? Shit.
I'm 12 blocks from... Meanwhile, you know what's even more embarrassing? When I talk to US 1, who's in Union City, I talk to US 1, who's nowhere near me. I got a row of skyscrapers blocking me to Jersey. I have no clearance to Jersey, no visual. I'm on the other side of the city. How the hell am I doing what I do over there? And I talk right over Pedro. Me and US 1 have conversations over Pedro, and Pedro's right there, maybe a couple of miles from him. And I still take Pedro out with all that firepower that Pedro uses. Me and US 1 talk right over him. Well, how embarrassing is that? Pedro is in the same state as the guy I'm talking to. You gotta love it. You can't make this shit up. And I'm doing it with a barefoot radio and a 9-foot whip. Insult to injury.
I hear a whole lot of crying out there. I'm just spiking a mic.
Yeah, you gotta love it, man. You gotta love it.
Yeah, how people do it. I know how I do it.
And then he comes to Manhattan, thinks he's gonna shut shit down, and I made a bigger ass out of him. Pedro, you could come to Manhattan with all the power in your mobile. It's not gonna help you, dog. You can't take out my locals. And we're not 12 blocks. We're not 2 miles. We're a lot further than that. Look at 23rd and the Freedom Tower. That's a good 4 miles from each other. Not 12 blocks. You guys need to look at a map and learn how to read a map.
Hey, Roadmaster, man, I hope you got tissues out there, man.
They're just embarrassed. Just check out last Friday's video gate. You want to see how much I made an ass out of Pedro 206? Just check out last Friday's TGIF, and the title is "Try Harder Next Time, Little 206," and you'll see 2 smiley faces and see how I make an ass out of Pedro when he actually comes to the Manhattan. And me and my locals talk right over him. He doesn't even buzz on any of their carriers, and he's running a 2x8. That man's got 10 pills in a motor car, and he's still getting crushed. Shame on you, Pedro.
Yeah, I'm getting crushed on your own video gate.
Of course you're getting crushed on my video gate, because I'm proving to everyone that your 2x8 pill in your mobile in Manhattan when you came here last Friday, you're not doing any justice. I'm making a point. Of course it's in my video gate. Who else's gate it's going to be in? I can only prove a point in my own gate when I tell people, when I show them, not tell them. Just watch my last video gate from last Friday. It's titled TGIF, Little 206, Keep on Trying, then 2 smiley faces. Then you see how we single-handedly destroyed Pedro in his mobile in Manhattan. He thinks he could talk over my locals. Not happening. Not in a million years. Anyway, let me get out of here. It's about that time. Some of us got to work for a living. And some of us got to smoke crack like 127. And you got the pill popper, painkiller consumer over there, 206, with his bad back. You know? And you got people that work honest jobs. Doesn't matter what you do for a living. Whether you work at home, whether you drive a truck, that's an honest living. When you got bums like 127 that just bleeds the system, lives off the fat of the system, we can't deal with individuals like that. And the 20th of January, that's all going to stop. No more Section 8 for crackhead 127, no more EBT card, and no more Obama phone. You're going to have to go out there and work for a living, Richard. The party's over, man.
Cut some break us off and I got down.
So with that, you got Enforcer 250. I gotta go 10-7. It's a pleasure once again. If you like my show, check me out. Check me out on YouTube. Just type in Enforcer Space 250. Enforcer Space 250 on YouTube, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 6 a.m., excluding weekends, holidays, and vacation. Check it out. The bad man with the master plan. The big boss with the hot sauce. Just check it out. Enforcer Space 250. Provider of truth and justice the American way. And he's doing it all with no super high gain antenna, just a 9-foot steel whip. I'm just doing a mud ducking 9-foot steel whip and my beautiful General Stonewall Jackson, barefoot, no amplifiers in line. Check me out on YouTube. I'll catch you out there. Till next time, Enforcer 250. God bless, drive safe, and remember, don't despair, cause 250 will always be there. I'll leave you with that final thought. I gotta go. Until next time, Enforcer 250, somewhere around the lower deck. And I just got down.
Big smoke. No, not you, nigga, hurry. But thank you for letting me know I'm crushing 250 over there when you're part of it out as well. That's right. Welcome to the game. Yo, game might have to be edited now. Hey, Eddie. There's only half a video gate there from 250 yesterday, and I'm the one that was 20 minutes late on the time clock. Gotcha, the King of New York. The hole in the wall,